Hola amigos! Welcome to this explainer on how to learn basic Spanish for beginners. If you are looking for an easy Spanish lesson and you've ever wanted to learn the language but just felt completely intimidated by where to start, well, you are in exactly the right place. Learning a new language can honestly feel like this massive mountain to climb, but the really good news? You absolutely do not need to memorize hundreds of words on your very first day. Today, we're focusing entirely on immediate, easy, quick wins without all those grueling hours of textbook study. Okay, let's dive right into this. So, here is our game plan for today. We'll hit first words and greetings, move into your basic Spanish toolkit, then building your first sentences, tackle your first Spanish conversation, and finally, wrap up with the daily practice routine. All right, section 1. First words and greetings, starting simple. Let's start with the absolute basics. Hola means hello. It's the very first thing you should learn to greet someone. And I actually want to break the fourth wall for a second here. Wherever you are right now, whether you're sitting at your desk or out on a walk, I want you to shadow this pronunciation out loud with me. Ready? Hola. See? You're already speaking Spanish. Now, what's really cool is how easily you can expand that basic greeting depending on the time of day. So in the morning, you just swap hola for buenos dias, good morning. As the day progresses into the afternoon, it becomes buenas tardes. And for the evening or night, it's buenas noches. These are just 3 simple phrases, but they instantly make you sound polite and situationally aware. And speaking of being polite, let's look at some essential manners. Gracias means thank you. De nada is you're welcome. And por favor is please. Honestly, these 3 words are an absolutely crucial part of your vocabulary. They are the easiest, fastest way to get a smile from a local, or, at least avoid getting that service. If you only remember 3 words from this entire section, make it these. Moving right along to section 2, your basic Spanish toolkit, the core mechanics. When it comes to basic Spanish pronouns, I really want to reassure you that you do not need to memorize every single one right this second. You just need the core basics to get off the ground. Yo is I, tú is you, él is he, ella is she, and nosotros is we. Just knowing the word yo lets you say things like, yo soy estudiante, I am a student. So keep it simple. Next up in our toolkit, numbers. Numbers are incredibly useful. So let's count from 1 to 10 together. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco. And then 6 to 10, seis, siete, ocho, nueve, diez. I highly, highly encourage you to practice these daily until they just become completely automatic. Now let's look at some highly functional, everyday vocabulary. We've got agua for water, comida for food, casa for house, then amigo, familia, dia, and noche. Libro, escuela, and trabajo for work. Now, listen closely. My advice here. Do not try to memorize all of this at once. That is a one-way ticket to burnout. Instead, just pick 5 words today and learn another 5 tomorrow. All right, section 3, building your first sentences, putting it together. Spanish grammar can definitely look a bit intimidating at first glance, but let's break it down simply. Spanish nouns can be masculine or feminine. For example, el libro, the book, uses el, but la casa, the house, uses la. You will gradually learn which to use over time. The totally crucial point here is that your main goal on day 1 is communication, not immediate perfection. So please don't stress about memorizing every single grammar rule right now. Now I want to hand you a phrase that is basically an absolute superpower. ¿Qué es esto? It means, what is this? I love this phrase so much because it shows just how quickly you can start learning about your environment. If you know how to point at something and say, ¿qué esto?, you can literally ask native speakers to teach you the names of anything around you. It's brilliant. Building on that superpower, here are the 6 key questions you need. ¿Qué for what? ¿Quién for who? ¿Dónde for where? ¿Cuándo for when? ¿Por qué for why? And ¿cómo for how? These simple words unlock so many conversations. For a quick example, if you pair ¿dónde with the word for you are, you get ¿dónde estás? Where are you? Let's see how this all builds into expressing facts about yourself. Yo vivo en Pakistan. I live in Pakistan. Me gusta la música. I like music. Me gusta el fútbol. I like football. Tengo un libro. I have a book. Look at how easy it is to share something personal just by starting with short, simple sentences. And, you can gradually make them longer as you get more comfortable. To practice these sentences, you really need to use a technique called shadowing. Shadowing means listening carefully to a native speaker, pausing and repeating the short sentence with the exact same rhythm. For instance, hola sounds approximately like hola. Gracias sounds like gracias. And remember, do not worry about having a perfect accent right now. Your ultimate goal is just being understandable. Okay, section 4 already. Your first Spanish conversation, the final boss. To initiate our final boss battle, we need to know how to ask someone how they are. You ask, ¿Cómo estás? How are you? And to answer back, you'd say, Estoy bien, meaning I am fine, or muy bien, meaning very well. Next is the introduction phase. To ask, what is your name? You say, ¿Cómo te llamas? To answer that, it's me llamo, followed by your name. And to express pleasure at meeting them, you just say, mucho gusto, which translates to, nice to meet you. And here it is, the whole shebang, all put together. I'm going to read this entire mini conversation out loud. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Estoy bien, gracias. ¿Y tú? Muy bien. ¿Cómo te llamas? Me llamo Ana. ¿Y tú? Me llamo David. Mucho gusto. Huge congratulations. Think about it. Just minutes into this explainer, you can now completely understand and participate in a basic Spanish exchange. That's huge. Finally, section 5, the daily practice routine, consistency over intensity. 20. That's the magic number. You do not need to study for 5 hours every day. Even just 20 consistent minutes a day is absolutely enough to make real, noticeable progress. So how do we actually spend those 20 minutes? Let's break it down into a highly actionable, bite-sized plan. Step 1, spend 5 minutes learning vocabulary. Step 2, spend 5 minutes just listening to Spanish. Step 3, spend 5 minutes speaking aloud using that shadowing technique we talked about. And step 4, spend 5 minutes reviewing what you learned. If you do this every single day, after a few weeks, the words will literally just start feeling familiar. So, the crucial takeaway here is the secret to Spanish. Learn a little bit, practice every day, listen carefully, and honestly, most importantly, speak without being afraid of making mistakes. Don't go in expecting instant fluency. Your goal is basic communication and consistency. My final question to leave you with today is this. Which 5 Spanish words will you choose to learn today for your very first 20-minute session? I challenge you to start that routine immediately today. Pick 5 words and just begin. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. I really hope you feel empowered to start learning. Hasta luego. See you later.